Okay, hello everybody, welcome. Hope you're excited about this tonight because I'm sharing this information with you. I know it's November. You might be watching the replay of this and you might be thinking, why are we talking about boosting your child's brain power when the school year is almost over? But I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. So my name is Meredith Olin. I live on the Gold Coast. I have two children who are 12 and 14, going on 13 and 15 next year, and they're both going to be in high school next year. And so a few of you know where my background is from. I was a high school music teacher for 12 years before I became a mother and discovered Young Living in the process of searching for natural health support for myself and my family. And I wish I knew what I'm about to share with you now back then. I wish I knew all of this when I was a teacher. And I don't know if it was the fact that, you know, having a child with some health issues kind of prompted me into a new direction. Not too sure about all that, but yeah, I'm excited to be presenting this tonight. So as a few of you hop on, just a quick introduction to what my story is like with my children and why I'm so passionate about sharing this info with you tonight. So both my children went to I'll say an alternative school when they started school. It was a Steiner school, and they didn't have any formal assessment at that school. It was very play-based. We absolutely loved that about the school. But they ended up in grade 2 and 4, we ended up moving our two children to a state school, a local state school. And that was a completely different environment to be putting them in. Okay, they'd never had any formalized testing before. So it was, you know, I was a bit nervous to see how they would go. And my son was definitely behind academically. So I was keen to do all I could to support him. He was in grade 5 at the time. He had grade 5, you know, half of grade 5 and then grade 6, and then he was in high school. So when I got a hold of this book, which I'll show you, Aroma Child, which is what this is based on tonight, I was really excited and I started to put into practice some of the things that I'll be sharing tonight with you. And the results have been quite remarkable. My kids are now in grade 6 and 8. My daughter is a straight A student. She has now been for a couple of years. And my son is receiving, well, he got an academic award last year, but he's been receiving academic awards every single term this year. And he's on the principal's honours list, which is a really big deal in the school that he's in. I'm just waving, I'm outside. That's why I'm waving around. Waving a sandfly or something. So both of them are flying academically. So I'm going to share with you information that I hope will help you. So tonight, what we'll talk about 4 main things, and I'm just going to move my little camera so I can read this. So we're going to be talking about overall health in children, nutritional support, oxygenation of the brain, and enhancing focus and calming in the classroom. So there are 4 main topics. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, let's see if this will work. Hopefully it will. Let me go to the next one. So let's talk about your child's overall health, because most of us have been raised to know that children need a healthy diet. And we were scolded by our parents to eat our vegetables, and we find ourselves often doing the same with our kids, right? But what we may not have realized, of course, when we were children, is that it's all for the best health, for our health and our well-being. But nowadays, it is a different world to what it was when we were children. There is so much junk food on the market. There is so much processed foods with ingredients our grandmothers never heard of. And also, our farming right now is not what it was way back, you know, 2 generations ago, 1 or 2 generations ago. The land just isn't as mineralized, etc. So there are so many distractions, from good sleep to so many new stresses in the world that our children are dealing with, that we really need to guide our kids through the minefield to be the best, healthiest versions of themselves. So I can definitely say that when it comes to your children, nothing beats a healthy, organic, if possible, and balanced diet with clean, purified water. That's a really big thing. Proper sleep. And when I say proper sleep, not just the hours of sleep, but actually having that deep sleep, proper exercise, and healthy bioavailable supplements. So let's talk about these then quickly, because what's in a healthy, hopefully organic based diet? I mean, obviously, most of us can, maybe buy a few organic things, but it is getting up there price-wise, right? So what's in a balanced diet? Well, first off, our kids need all the phytonutrients in the clean, fresh fruit and vegetables. They need a good source of good fats and proteins to stabilize their blood sugar. And I have to say, managing my kids' energy is a constant process. They've got quick metabolisms, so their energy can change on a dime. Nuts are a great option if they're not nut allergic, which mine now aren't. Thank goodness our son now isn't. That's a whole other webinar, perhaps. Because, they have healthy carbs as well, the nuts, and fats blended with fiber and protein. So everything can stay stable. We actually make sure our kids have a little packet of, almonds or something that they take with them to school every day. And I'm always thinking about giving them brain food. Their little bodies are huge consumers of nutrients, so they need constant replenishment. Giving them good eating on a schedule is key. The more you can get them to conform to a balanced eating schedule, the more likely they'll have predictable behavior. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, if I was hungry, I got hangry. So stable energy, the right kind of energy is what we want. Creating smaller meals to eat more often at regular intervals will keep them from craving, suffering the sugar crashes, and surfing through waves of energy that end up coming and going, I should say. Let's talk about water quickly too, because while it might be a little inconvenient to cope with our children's small bladders, it's important for them to get enough water. A lot of children do not get enough water. Clean water helps them process their food, sustain their energy, and flush toxins and byproducts out of the body. It also has a big impact on their moods. In fact, a lot of people say they're hungry when actually their body is thirsty. The more regular they can be with clean water intake, the better off they'll be. So proper sleep is a massive factor, massive, in ensuring kids that can focus, concentrate, and stay motivated. Nothing ruins the mood of a child who didn't have enough sleep. And we all know that, right, mums? We know it ruins our mood too. In this day and age, even our children are connected by their smartphones to the media, and if we're not careful, a 24-hour news cycle. And this can pose a huge problem to their biorhythms. You might actually find that you have to take that smartphone away and have your child log off an hour or so before bedtime. I have to do this with my son with his laptop. He doesn't have a smartphone, but he has a laptop for school. And we've made the rule, no laptop after dinner. So Young Living has created some wonderful products that help with the child's sleep, helping them get to sleep, helping them stay asleep, and helping them get better sleep. Sorry, I've gone ahead there. I don't want to go ahead. So some of those products, by the way, are oils. I'll be talking about supplements as well tonight, but I'd love to hear about your favorite oils that you use for sleep. We love orange, we love cedarwood, we love frankincense, we love lavender, and often we'll combine them, like lavender and orange together, cedarwood and orange, frankincense and lavender. Vetiver is a lovely, really calming one for the body as well. There's beautiful children's oils like the Sleepy Eyes or the Seedlings Calm that we're often reaching for too, because I happen to have them and the kids love them. And Peace and Calming is my personal favorite for myself. Young Living have so many. I could easily spend half an hour just talking about that. But let's go on to proper exercise. So kids' bodies are not made to sit all day, every day. We know that, right? Their muscles are growing and developing. Their lungs and hearts are growing. Their skeleton is growing and expanding. They need to express their energy in physical ways. This can also be good for their coordination as well as their balance and focus, and it can have a real impact on their concentration and classroom behavior. So Dr. Stuart Trost of Oregon State University linked as little as 15 minutes of physical activity to improve concentration, memory, and classroom behavior among elementary students in his 2007 report. So we should not be cutting out physical exercise. We should be, and I'm sure a lot of you realize that in this day of technology, we need to make sure as parents that we are getting them outside and they are involved in regular physical activity. And telling them to go outside and play isn't always effective. Maybe give them an opportunity, if you can, to participate in organised sports. I know our kids love tennis. They've been playing tennis for years. And schedule some time to do some physical activity together, whether that's playing an outdoor physical game or doing some stretching or yoga. All right, I am talking fast tonight because I've got a lot to get through in half an hour with you. And the next one is a really big one, which is energy. We're going to talk about healthy energy and nutrition now, because if you're a parent and you know then that you're probably all too well aware that energy is one of your biggest challenges for kids. First, they have too much and then they have too little. And you really can't fight a kid's energy, right? Instead, you have to try channeling it the right way. Your strategy can become, how can I support my child by helping them have the right kind of energy at the right time? Okay, easier said than done though, right? So you don't want sleepy kids studying. If they get too relaxed, it defeats the purpose. They fall asleep mid-sentence. But then again, you don't want them so wound up that so that they go into brainstorm and then go to the moon all night. So the point is to have balanced stimulation with focus, to be uplifting, yet able to stay confident, relaxed, and engaged. This is a little tricky. Many parents are used to throwing sugar, artificial colors, and caffeine, sadly, at their children. And I can tell you, it is a nightmare. From personal experience as a teacher, it is a nightmare for a teacher trying to teach 25 to 30 kids in a classroom when they come through the door after eating, sugar, or have a V drink or something like that. And remember, I taught in high school, so I saw this a lot. So take away the sugar, take away the artificial colors and flavors, take away the conventional chemical stimulants and excitotoxins such as MSG, replace them with good quality energy support. And the best way I have found to do this is with what you see on the screen here, Ningxia Red. Whether you choose the bottles or the 60 ml sachets, I love the sachets. By the way, we're in exam week here. Our kids are having Ningxia every morning, but the sachets are fantastic because, for example, tomorrow afternoon, I pick my kids up. We take them straight to string lessons. They both learn string instruments. I always have a sachet of cold Ningxia ready for them to drink between the end of school and string lessons. I'll do the same on Thursday when they go to tennis lessons. So they do tennis until 6:30 at night, and then we're home by about 7:15. So this is a way to regulate the healthy kind of energy. And let me find my information about this because this is really important to know. Ningxia Red supports all 11 major systems of the body. This is massive. The circulatory, respiratory, digestive, excretory, nervous, and endocrine. Endocrine is hormone. Immune, integumentary, which is skin, skeletal, muscle, and reproductive systems. It is insane. This is our family's favorite delicious supplement drink. It is like the best multivitamin drink, the best tasting I've ever come across. It has become an integral part of our daily wellness routine. And so during exam time, as I said, I let my kids drink extra. I don't mind when they, if they have it, throughout the day, even on the weekend, but they're always having it in the morning before school, as I mentioned. All right, while we are on the topic of study and cognition and talking about, the concentration, because this is what they need concentration, and that's a whole other brand of energy. I have to talk about these two supplements because these two are so important. Omega Gies is a DHA-rich fish oil complex that is the very same as that found in our brains. Isn't that amazing? The kind we have to get from our diet that, the kind we have to get from our diet that we can't fully manufacture on our own. Okay, if you want some more information about Omega Gies, please get in touch with the person who invited you or me. Okay, we've got some information in our Dream Catchers group on Facebook as well. It is an incredible supplement. I can't talk about too much right now because I'll run out of time, but this one literally changed my life personally. Mineral essence is the second one I'm going to talk about here. And this is a full spectrum mineral complex enhanced with essential oils that provides ionic minerals in their natural ratio. Okay, so to read a bit from the book here, because children's focusing and behavior may be affected by mineral deficiencies in the diet. This is a massive one, everybody. If our body lacks minerals, the vitamins won't assimilate or absorb properly. Minerals are necessary for proper metabolic and immune functioning. So I know a lot of you that know about mineral essence will say to me, oh, but it doesn't taste good. How do I get my kids to take it? Well, I give them a dropper in a Ningxia, in a shot of Ningxia each morning. And I just say, guys, suck it up, take it. It's okay. Like, some things just don't taste as good as other things. This does taste like a bit of a rusty car, but you know what? It is what it is. And I think the more that we can get the kids off the sugar, the better they can handle mineral essence, right? So do whatever you can to get that into you and your children. The reason I say you is because children copy what we do. Monkey see, monkey do, right? Such a huge thing. All right, oxygenation of the brain. This is what I'm super excited to talk about, because as a teacher, oh my gosh, this is so key, I think, to learning. So there have been multiple studies conducted on essential oils that show a potential to help promote healthy brain blood flow. This supportive cerebral perfusion can have a remarkable effect on how our children study, retain, think, and remember. And these on the right here are a list of oils that have been indicated in various studies. Frankincense, cedarwood, sandalwood, vetiver, melissa, patchouli, myrrh, peppermint, Idaho blue spruce, northern lights black spruce, blue cypress, helichrysum, and brain power. Now, brain power at the end there, that is a special blend that was made by Gary Young. And all the oils, if you can see the ones here that have the little asterisks beside them, they are all in brain power as well as lavender. So brain power is a blend of 7 amazing essential oils, and that is actually in the recipe I'm going to share with you at the end, that we have used in a roll-on for our children. Now, I'm going to say what we do. I diffuse every single night for my children, and it isn't just for sleep. Sometimes it's for breathing for my son, because he does get a bit of clogged up. But a lot of the time, I am thinking about oxygenation of the brain. I'm thinking about what's happening, because they're literally downloading everything that they've learned throughout the day. We have a chiropractic neurologist that works with our son since he was a baby. And he said to me, in terms of, because his specialty is brain development, neural development. And he said to me when Angus was a toddler, and he found out that I knew about the Young Living oils. I was just stepping into using Young Living oils when Angus was 4. And he said to me, if you can diffuse oils each night, diffuse them, because for the brain, because the brain like downloads from the soft drive to the hard drive. Imagine you're a computer. It goes, everything from the day, they download it into the long-term memory. This is a massive one, everybody, massive. And I truly believe this is a key thing as to why both of my children are doing so well in school, because they are able to retain information better when we are diffusing for them every night in this way. All right. Now I'm going to give you some information about brain power as well. Let me find the right page, because I want to get this information right and not just out the top of my head. So the oils in brain power, the last one that I mentioned there, are high in sesquiterpene compounds. Okay, so basically all these oils will be high in sesquiterpene compounds that help stimulate our activity in the pineal, pituitary, and hypothalamus glands, which in turn potentially boosts the output of growth hormone and melatonin. All right. I'm only giving you the tip of the iceberg here tonight, everybody, truly. But the sooner you can do this in a child's life, the better. I cannot reiterate that enough. I cannot get that point across enough. It's huge. So let's talk about attention spans, because this is something that as a teacher, I know all too well has such a huge impact on a child's ability to learn. So this is the average, according to the data in many psychological research reports, the general spans of time for children of different ages to stay focused on a task continuously. So for example, doing puzzles, building blocks, reading, writing, etc. And I want you to notice the range, like the difference here in times. So age 7 between 14 and 35 minutes, age 8 between 16 and 40 minutes, age 9 somewhere between 18 and 45 minutes, and age 10 anywhere between 20 and 50 minutes. Now you might look at that and think, oh yeah, well, I'm going to say to you, I want you to think about the average 9-year-old, for example. I don't know how old are your kids, let me know. 18 minutes sitting at one task is very, very different to a 45-minute session, being able to sit for 45 minutes. Okay, massive, absolutely massive. That's over double, okay? And that's what you see all the way along here. You see over double the difference, right? So we can help our children gradually extend that attention span time. That is a huge thing as well. And again, staying attentive and focused is not always easy in class for our kids, okay? Sometimes not even easy at home, right? In the COVID times, it wasn't easy when my kids were at home necessarily learning. But certain school topics and methods of teaching may sometimes be too long and boring for them. Sometimes the actual content is simply too far over their heads. If the teacher and subject are not enough to keep their attention, they will get distracted. And especially, you know, for our children that have ADD or ADHD or even autism, they will face an extra challenge. And so there are essential oils that can help kids and even adults stay focused and pay more attention to the task. So I don't have time right now to go through all of them. There are so many, but I'd love you to tell me what your favorite ones are, because there are heaps. I'm only going to mention 2 tonight. Okay, I'm going to mention 2 key ones that we use. Okay, Genius is a pre-made blend. It is an amazing blend by Young Living, the Kids Sense collection. They have a range of oils for all different things like breathing, tummy, sleep, and this one for concentration. I think there is another one. Kid Power. We use that one too, but that's more for that's like a kid's valor. That's for confidence and self-esteem. But Genius is an amazing blend. Have a look at what's in Genius. Sacred frankincense, blue cypress, cedarwood, Idaho blue spruce, Palo Santo, Melissa, Northern Lights black spruce, bergamot, myrrh, vetiver, geranium, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, ylang-ylang, hyssop, coriander, rose, and it has coconut and almond oils because it is diluted for the kiddos, right? This is so easy to turn into a roll-on with the Aroma Glide fitment. I have one in my handbag, and every single morning I have been rolling this for the last couple of weeks. It literally is in our routine every day. It has been now for 2 years that we're using one of these 2 roll-ons. The next one I'll talk about in a sec. It's just in our routine that they put them on. Now I'll tell you a story, because actually I'll mention the test time roller recipe next, and then I'll tell you a story, and I'll finish with that story. So this is from the test time roller recipe is from this book. It's actually called the A+ Scorer Blend, but I didn't want to actually call it the A+ Scorer Blend because I don't want my kids thinking that that's the only reason we're using it. I just said this is just to help you stay calm and focused in your tests and help your brain. So in a 5 ml roller, I combine 10 drops of brain power, 3 drops of rosemary, 3 drops of lemon, and 4 drops of frankincense, plus 1 drop of white angelica, not to be confused with angelica. It's white angelica. And I top that off with V6 complex. So in the book, it has a 15 ml recipe. I make a 5 ml roller. I find the kids with their little hands, they like the 5 ml. I could make them, you just double it if you want to make a 10 ml roller, but I love the 5 ml, so do they. I have probably made Miranda this, I'd say we're up to like the 4th time that I'm now going to be replacing, making her a new one when I get a new bottle of brain power coming, because we ran out a couple of weeks ago. She uses this all the time. Now our son, Angus, initially wasn't as regular using it. He would forget, okay? And I'd remind them, but he'd forget, but it is what it is. But there was one day in particular, and I can't remember, maybe it was last year. No, it was the year before, because last year was good. Right. Anyway, and Miranda said to me, she hopped in the car and she normally tells me her maths mental score, which is out of 20. And she loved doing that. And I go, okay, cool. And she told me about the rest of her day. Anyway, she'd normally get 18, 19 or 20 out of 20 for her maths mental scores. And this one particular day, it was a Wednesday, she hopped in the car and said, Mum, I only got like 14 or 15. I don't know what it was, but it was lower than what she regularly gets for maths mentals. And she said, I don't understand what happened. And I said, no worries, sometimes you have a day like that. It's okay. Anyway, it wasn't until the next day that she hopped in the car that she said to me, and she realized she got 20 out of 20 on the Thursday. And she said, Mum, I realized why I only got whatever it was, 14 or 15 yesterday. And I said, why? And she said, I forgot to use my test time roller in the morning. I said, did you? It was a really busy morning, by the way. We had to get up to school extra early. She was in the strings ensemble rehearsal. It was a bit of a crazy morning, so she forgot. And she said, yeah, I forgot to use it. And I said, oh, you think it makes that much of a difference? She said, yeah, it made a huge difference. And I said, what do you think? This is when she was 10, that's right. What do you think was the difference when you use it? And this is what she told me. Her exact words were, I notice when I use it that the answers come quicker into my head. I'll say that again. She said, I notice the mornings I use it, that day in school, the answers come quicker into my head. Now, everybody, if that is not a testimonial, I don't know what is. So she was a full-on believer after that. She is stuck with it. Our son is now, he has seen the results. He's seen her getting straight A's. He's like, I want, better results at school without trying so hard. He has been doing the same thing. So the key is consistency. Consistency. Get them into the habit. Get yourself into the habit. How I got them into the habit was I also rolled on myself at the back, just basically near the brainstem, right? Back of the neck, just near the hairline. Diffuse every night. This is what we are doing every single night. 1 or 2 drops I put in the diffuser, right? Every single night. And supplement when necessary. We are a Ningxia family. And then depending on, we have been off the mineral lessons for a little bit, but we'll have to get back on it soon. Same thing with Omega Jais. Supplement. And if you just do Ningxia, I'll tell you, if you just do Ningxia and diffuse or make a roller, you are such a huge step ahead if you can get them into that habit and do that consistently. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Anyone that hops on live, I'll be giving away a prize tomorrow. Can't wait. I'll be giving away one of the kids' sense oils. So be ready for that. And yeah, if you have any questions about ordering any of these, getting some of these for your family or yourself, ask the person who shared this with you. Or if you just joined this and you're not sure who to get in touch with me. Meredith Olin is my name. Thanks everyone for joining me tonight. See you next time. Bye.